Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome is safe and back home tonight after police say she ended up at a South Fargo hotel early this morning. They say the girl is nonverbal and was found at the Roadway Inn on University Drive just after 4. Later, she would be reunited with her caregivers. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the hotel worker who found the girl.
4 a.m. is typically the quietest hour of my shift. That's when I really kind of feel like I'm the only one on earth.
But that's not how Brandon Ross's shift went this morning, saying the teen girl walked into his lobby just before 4 in what looked like a onesie.
So I asked her if she needed help, and she said she was cold and nodded when I asked her if she was lost.
Fargo police couldn't say how long the girl was out or how she got to the hotel, but West Fargo police say if wandering is an issue for a loved one in your life, Project Lifesaver could be a vital tool for a second layer of protection.
Dementia, Alzheimer's, autism, and several other diagnoses that can cause them to have sensory issues where they may not know exactly where they're at, they get confused, things like that.
Stife says Project Lifesaver is only for someone who requires and has a 24-hour caretaker, and says the tracking device can be worn as a bracelet or around the ankle.
So if it's somebody that can still go out and ride bike or go for walks by themselves or go shopping, they really don't fit the criteria.
Stife says so far, West Fargo police has a 100% success rate with the program, as it helped bring a young boy home safely back in September.
It's priceless. Just the circumstances of the recovery during that situation could have been tragic.
And Ross says not only is he thankful temperatures weren't below freezing last night, but says he's glad he could be part of a young girl's return to safety. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Fargo police say their Crimes Against Children unit is following up with both the girl's family and social services. For more information on Project Lifesaver, head to our VNL News app and click on this story. If you aren't smiling about our recent stretch of weather, you must be new to the area. Our luck continues to be with us, above average temps and no snow. Let's get to the specifics on this Thursday evening. Hutch is here with the very latest. Hutch?
Yeah, those temperatures today kissed 50 degrees and we are still in the mid-30s, which is above our average highs for the day by almost 10 degrees in many locations. All in all, it's a fair evening out there as we cool fairly quickly under clear skies and very light wind. We are watching a pool of cool up there near Hudson Bay. It's going to be heading southward as we go into your Friday. That will cool many areas off. I'll have details on that in just a few moments. Right now, a look at your evening. Here in Fargo, we'll slip into those mid-20s by bedtime tonight. It does look like Grand Forks will see similar temperatures into the evening hours. Expect very quiet conditions overnight. And in fact, Mike, very quiet conditions will continue for the near term. I'll have details on that as well coming up here in just a few minutes. Cooler Friday, we'll go over how cool in a minute.
As you've said before, quiet is good. Thanks. A Moorhead man was arrested on several charges and accused of hitting another with his vehicle. Police responding to the 2500 block of 15th Street South this morning. They say the victim suffered minor injuries. 36-year-old Benny Rodriguez was arrested for terrorizing, aggravated assault, and driving under the influence. Authorities say after hitting the victim, Rodriguez smashed his vehicle into an apartment building. Police are warning you about a high-risk sex offender moving to Moorhead after he's released from prison. 29-year-old Omar Yassin will be living in the 1900 block of First Avenue South. That's just a couple of blocks from Moorhead High School. He's going to be released on December 7th. Yassin sexually assaulted a teenage girl and used drugs to get her to comply. The number of drug overdose deaths is on the rise in Minnesota. The state reporting a 31% increase during the first half of this year compared to the first half of last year. There were 490 deaths during the first half of 2020, with 373 deaths the same time frame last year. Data from July 2020 and later will not be likely available until next year, so it's too early to know whether these trends have continued in the second half of this year. North Dakota is reporting 978 new cases of COVID-19. There are 11 more deaths in the state. Overall, 977 deaths have been linked to COVID. In Cass County alone, there are currently 230 new cases. The daily positivity rate is at 9.65%. In Minnesota, that state is reporting 6,166 new cases of COVID-19, along with 92 additional deaths. The overall death toll stands at 3,784. The Cass County Jail is reporting that 27 inmates and 3 staff members have tested positive with COVID since going into lockdown because of the virus. Officials telling us that those who tested positive are mostly asymptomatic, with a few experiencing mild symptoms that don't require outside medical care. The jail remains on lockdown status as officials try to gain control of the exposures. North Dakota lawmakers have made their temporary face mask rules permanent with a strong bipartisan majority in both chambers. All lawmakers will be required to wear a mask while in the chambers or in committee. Now, there are some exceptions, including lowering and or removing the mask while speaking or when there is social distancing. Most committee rooms are set up to achieve social distancing, but the main chambers are not.
It is bigger than just you and me, and this isn't about the public. This is about the rules of the House on how we're going to get through the next 4 months, and hopefully all of us will get through the 4 months. We'll have a normal session. We're not going to catch it.
Left out of the requirements was testing. Everyone has their temperature screened before entering the Capitol. If a lawmaker has a fever of above 100.4 degrees, they will not be allowed into the chambers and must receive a negative test before they may return to the floor. 10 of 60 Air Force nurses deployed to North Dakota to help with COVID patients are at Essentia Healthcare in Fargo. They're working to offset staffing shortages. Captain Tanisha Catherine says that this is her first travel assignment as an RN for COVID, saying her team will be here for at least the next 30 days.
So far, the unit has just been busy. Our patient load has been pretty busy. We've been doing a lot, caring for a lot of patients, but it definitely has been interesting. It's a privilege to be here, to be able to support, North Dakota.
And we thank you. The Department of Defense and FEMA will reassess the need for the Air Force RNs at the end of the month. And Essentia officials say that while they hope the extra help is able to stay, they have backup plans in place if that's not the case. Later on Valley News Live at 6, those of you with ice fishing fever need to be careful. Warnings from the Game and Fish Department.
And our above average stretch of weather continued throughout the day today with temperatures kissing 50 degrees for many. Here's a look at those high temperatures as we expect slightly cooler weather into your Friday. Details on that coming up right after this.